Hello. Hello there. Testing, testing. It is I, Holly, versus Chan. Bit of a different stream than usual today. We are taking a break from Bloodborne this week and probably will get back to it next week, but we've been adding different things to our streaming schedule, so Tim did some Pokemon Unite, and we had no idea what game to play today, so we are just back talking shit. We haven't done a Just Chatting that's just me and Jim for ages. Yeah. I don't know how many of you watched us do a massive stream where we just discussed the Fate Stay Night visual novel, but I guess based on the thing we did right at the end of that video, we decided we wanted to do some more cringy tier lists. And so last night, we just decided, you know what, tomorrow night stream, we're just going to do tier lists.
I'm here!
And the Goblin is here. Hello.
Oh my god, let the cringe begin.
Yeah, we have beer and we have tier lists.
I've been wanting the cringe since half an hour ago.
Yeah. I mean, I was up last night making one of these tier lists.
I'm gonna drink Finland.
I didn't realise that yours is one of the England ones, mine is just a normal one.
Why is it's a Finland?
It's one of the football ones with the countries on, sorry.
Did they just have these left over?
Yeah, they just have, like, at the bottom of the beer fridge, like a £1 for individual bottles.
Oh no, Holly, I can't drink this. I have long hair and I'm fat.
Not goblin safe beer. Oh no. So yeah.
Okay. Do we want to show?
Yeah, I guess we should show people what we're doing.
Okay.
This is our account on tier maker, by the way. So if anybody wants to make any of the stupid fucking tier lists that we add, please, let us know.
Yeah.
Or just go ahead, feel free to rank characters on how based and cringe they are. So yeah, we recently watched Fate Zero. This is me rewatching it for the third time and Jim seeing it for the first time. I will eventually read the light novels. It's like, I know it's a light novel series and it's one of my favourite animes, so it's like, why don't I just go read it? Yeah. We tried to include as many characters as we could who we think are actually, relevant enough that we could rate them based cringe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about adding some of these, but yeah.
Yeah, it felt like I wanted a similar number of characters to what we had for the Stay Night one.
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
mean, there are quite a few returning faces here.
Some of these characters, I straight up don't remember what their name is, so that's a bad sign.
It's okay, I can. I've seen this 3 times.
There's really 3 of them that I don't remember. No, kind of 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
That I don't really remember the name of.
Yeah, just let me know which one, and I will tell you which one is which.
But I suppose we're starting where it all begins.
They're in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
I did name the images after the character's actual name. I call servants by their actual name because, fuck, there's so many servants. If I called them by class name, I would get confused.
Yeah. So I guess first thing is Sabre, Arteria.
I'm gonna say, Jimmy, what did you think of Fate Zero overall?
Oh, I really liked it. I think it's probably the best Fate anime I've seen. I have only seen 2. I've seen this one and I saw Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
But I would say that it's a better story than Stay Night or Unlimited Blade Works.
What I like about Fate Zero is that I feel like it really gets to the core of Fate and how the Holy Grail War is supposed to be structured.
Yeah, and what's it about? Because it
really does feel like a 7-way death battle, but you get the whole characters forming allegiances, people having different ideals and all sorts of clashes.
Yeah.
And it's great.
I'm going to be honest, I think there's going to be a trend here, because I think, in general, this is a lot of base people fighting each other. So
probably.
Oh yeah, we should probably define as well. What do we mean by based and what do we mean by cringe?
Yeah, we did define this in our other video, but for the people who haven't seen it, I guess we can define it.
So, base means sort of that you're sure of yourself and you're living your life for yourself. You're living your best life.
And you don't care what other people
Yeah, you're not influenced by other people. You're also not even influenced by your own like insecurities and fears and that sort of thing.
It's not an indication of whether or not somebody is good or bad, or whether or not we agree or disagree with whatever the heck it is they do.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, go look at our other tier list video.
Yeah.
It's the second most viewed upload on our YouTube.
Being based does not make you good. Being cringe does not make you bad. It's just sort of how you are as a person internally, like how you are for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When someone is cringe, you feel bad for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So with that said, I guess Arturia, right?
Yeah, Arturia.
So
Sabre.
she was obviously in our previous one.
Yeah, she's the classic heroine of the series.
We put her right in the middle.
Yeah,
which seemed right.
Yeah, it's one of those where like in this, like you get to see characters behaving a bit differently to how they appear when they turn up again in Stay Night. Even though Stay Night is the original one, but this is the prequel, so timeline-wise, this is their first appearance, then the second appearance is the novel.
I think
this was written after the novel, though.
I think this is a fairly simple example of what, you know, it's fairly simple for us is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because we have where she was in the previous one, but in this, I actually think she's a little bit more based.
I mean, she definitely tells Kiritsugu that he's shit.
Yeah, I love that.
She really wants to have a knightly fight to the death with Lancer.
Yeah.
Diarmuid.
Now, she does kind of get called out by Iskander especially. She is hardcore giving Gil the finger in the majority of this.
Yeah.
I don't know, she's just like a little bit more based.
I think maybe it's because we get to see her do more things on her own.
Also, she's kind of, in my opinion, a bit more cool. She's like wearing a suit and driving a bike.
Oh yeah, the motorbike thing is cool.
Now, being cool is not necessarily the same
as being based,
but I think it kind of wins you some points.
She outrides a rider. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, as well, I know that it's cringe that the whole thing where she discovers... Actually, right. So, you know, she kind of realizes that the way she went about being king was kind of bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, she was aware of that. That's why in Zero, what she wants to do is go redo her reign.
Well, no, but it was bad in a way that she didn't realize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when fighting Lancelot, when she actually, spoilers, kills him, she tells him that she can't let him be in the way, and even if he was one of her knights, etc.
Yeah,
she still is on this path, and you can't stop her from going on that path. And he's just like, wow, and then dies. Yeah. And I'm like, that's pretty based of her. So yeah. I feel like she has to win some points. I think she kind of goes into kind of based.
Yeah. It's like last time she was neither base nor cringe. We get to see her be a bit more of her own person in this.
Yeah.
So she gets to be kind of based.
So, another Irish guy.
It's like the Lancer class is really made up of Irish guys in tight outfits with big sticks.
This is true. This is just fact. Yeah.
Sadly, he has less of an ass than Ku.
What would you...
Where this is?
Also, tell me his name, because
it's Diarmuid Domine.
Fuck my life.
Or just Diarmuid, because I can't pronounce Gaelic names very well.
Diarmuid?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, but in many ways, I kind of feel like he's just Lancer again, but not as good.
Not as good Ku budget Ku.
I mean, you might be able to argue his actual weaponry and stuff is kind of better.
I'm gonna say he is the guy who will fuck your wife, but he literally can't help it. It's a curse, and he doesn't want to fuck your wife.
Is that based?
I don't know if that's based.
Is it based to be like, well, sorry, bro, I accidentally fucked your wife?
I accidentally had sex with your wife.
I don't know what to make of it.
I do like that him and Artori seem to have this thing, which is like, both of us want this one chivalrous knightly thing.
Let me put it this way.
But other than that, I'm like, I don't think he does much that could be considered that base.
I feel like, he's definitely not cringe.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that is cringe of him. The only things that are cringe is the same stuff that happens to Lancer in the Stay Night series.
Yeah.
Which is that he's being controlled by a master that he doesn't like.
Yeah, it's like his master of shit to him. It's like, what? Well, he does seem to still want to be loyal to his master, even though his master is being shit to him. And it's like,
yeah,
that feels kind of bad, bro. But it's like, yeah, I just want to be a chivalrous knight. I want to serve my lord and have a knightly fight to the death with King Arthur.
Yeah.
He's denied all of these things.
Yeah. I mean, I think he maybe has to win some points just because of, like, when he, once again, spoilers, obviously, when he does die, you know, he's forced to kill himself.
Yeah.
And then he just tells literally everyone around him to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, it's a pretty base way to go out. So, I don't know, I feel like I'm tempted to put him in kind of base, but
I'm also like, maybe like neither cringe nor base.
Yeah,
because I'm just there like I can see how he's based, but
he's in that range. The kind of
it's like I don't think he qualifies enough to be cringe. And at the same time, it feels like, you know,
he's less based than Sabre.
I mean, like, it's too easy to compare him to Ku in Stay Night, but like Ku hates his master who is shit to him. And, like, you know, doesn't even try and deny that he doesn't like his master.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
Well, I mean, it's not even surprising, because Kirei literally killed
his
other master. And then was like, you're my servant now. And he was like, well, shit, fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Whereas this is actually the master he was summoned by, so...
Yeah. It's like, dude, if you told him to fuck himself sooner, then maybe you'd be a little bit more based. But
yeah. I don't know. I guess
Diarmuid is not really either.
Yeah, I think we'll put him there for now. Maybe we'll put him somewhere else. But yeah, that's basically it.
We have our next one is our second returning character.
Yeah, Gil.
This is Gilgamesh.
Now, we had Gil as based
last
before.
time.
Now, I'm going to just kind of skip to the end here. I think he is more based than he was in Stay Night, but I don't think he becomes extremely based.
Does he not? What loses the points for being extremely based?
It's not that. The thing is, you don't need to, like, not lose any. You need to earn extremely based or extremely cringe.
Okay.
You can't just be. It can't just be like lots of little based things.
Yeah,
you have to do very based things to qualify. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm trying to think. Is like, cause in this,
what's like the most based thing he does in Zero?
This is what I'm trying to think. Is like his whole motivation for everything he does is, I have already won. This is amusing for me. Tells his master to fuck off.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like
takes a new one. Like, fuck you. I'm gonna go with this guy. It's more fun to just like.
That is true.
It's more fun to poke this guy until he becomes a psychopath.
It is true that he basically eggs a psychopath on to becoming more evil.
It's like he is doing everything
and tries to do it for a laugh.
For his own amusement. That is his motivation.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just hanging about, drinking wine.
He's just chilling, drinking wine, wearing a very nice low-cut V-neck sweater.
It's like, you know, he does shit like where he can't be bothered to put down an eldritch horror.
And then just decides, oh, fuck it, it's more fun to just chase this guy on a plane.
Yeah, it's like, it's all pretty base stuff, but it's
he does like pretty much everything entirely because he wants to.
I struggle to think of him. Yeah, it's all pretty base, but I just struggle to think of anything that's like really, really, really based, you know? Like other characters we put in extremely based.
He feels like a very consistent level of based.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to think. It's like, it's like in Stay Night, we see that moment where he loses and he gets very mad.
Yeah.
In this, he doesn't have a moment like that as well.
I imagine he was pretty annoyed.
why he seems...
At first, anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I think it happened, and then he was like, oh. And then he comes up to Kira. Guess we're going to wait for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's more annoyed than anything, it seems, maybe.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. He doesn't have, he doesn't have a real losing moment. Like, nobody defeats him. He only lost because Sabre was told to destroy the Grail, which then meant she disappears. And he's still alive because he got covered in the Grail mud.
It's worth saying that, like, you know, winning battles
doesn't make a based cringe.
Yeah. Because if that were the case, Lancer would be very cringe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which one I'm talking
about. It's like if you're a Lancer, you're gonna die first.
Yeah.
So he doesn't die first, but you're gonna die soon.
It's just the curse.
Yeah.
You have to be Irish and cursed. Unfortunately. I guess
Gilgamesh is still just base. He's more base than in Stay Night, but I don't think he quite. If you say extremely base is a thing you need to earn, then yeah.
Yeah. Now Bluebeard. Otherwise...
Shieldray. Caster.
Yes. Okay, now...
You ever simped so hard for one woman that, like, another woman who looks similar gives you the same reaction?
Now, I feel like I need to try and explain my thought process here. I'm just not sure where he's going to end up.
Okay.
In my opinion, in a way, we should have 2 of him.
Why?
And then one goes in extremely base and the other goes in extremely cringe. Because, you know how I was saying you need to earn being extremely base or extremely cringe?
Yeah.
He earns both.
Oh, okay. Why does he earn being very base?
Well, I mean, he comes up to a child and says, go outside, you'll be okay. And then knowingly tricking him into being brutally dismembered by an eldritch horror. I know that's a horrible thing to do, but it's obviously very based. Like, it's just ridiculously based, even. We've talked about this. Just, you know, beating up children is based, apparently. It's just a theme, it seems.
We should just do a fake kid fights tier list.
But also...
Yeah, he's way too obsessed with Joan of Arc, who isn't even in the franchise yet.
Yeah, this level of simping is when it's not even actually the girl. Imagine simping so hard that you mistook somebody else for the girl you simped for and acted like a weirdo in front of her. That's what this guy does, and it's just, yeah.
I love Joan of Arc so much, I'm going to murder children now.
But we can't do that. We only have one of him.
One of him, yeah.
So, where's he end up?
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of great.
I feel like the whole thing I was talking about being about, like, a brutal murderer monster thing, frankly, he actually doesn't embrace that as much as his master does.
Yeah. That's the thing, I think Ryonosuke there is probably definitely going to be higher on the list than Ray.
And also, he doesn't have the cringiness of simping really hard for some random woman who isn't even here.
That's what... But Gilgamesh does that so hard. It's like...
So...
Sorry, I almost want to make a meme that's like a picture of Gilgamesh, which is the average Jean fan, and then a picture of Gilgamesh, which is the average Artoria enjoyer.
Yes. Exactly. I feel like it's... I feel like despite doing, like, things that are, like, really quite based, I feel like he's quite led by his master, who's way more based than he is, and the stuff that he does is very cringe. So I feel like...
It's also, like, their motivation for both of them is really strange, because they just ignore the Grail War, and are just, like, murder children.
They're just like, you know what's...
Yes!
You know what's... they literally get to a point where they're essentially saying that they think they should sort of be a counterpoint to God, you know, and be all the evil in the world, you know, and that's like God celebrates that as much as goodness.
Yes.
It's like, but it seems to me that more or less his master came up with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
so once again, I'm like...
He was sad, like... Why was he sad as well?
Because he's dumb and he's sad.
Yeah, he's a bit weird. Yeah.
I think he probably goes into cringe.
Yeah, I think he definitely earns being cringe.
He also, I'm gonna be real, he looks and sounds like a weirdo.
There is another version of
doesn't
him in the
necessarily,
franchise that
but-
is a younger version of him that's a Sabre who actually looks the way this guy did when he was alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you haven't got to that part of the franchise yet, so
Yeah, well,
he's still very hardcore simps over Joan of Arc.
Tentacle Man.
Like you fought alongside Joan of Arc. You were the richest guy in France, and this is what you turned into.
I think
How do you screw that up?
he's also quite a lot more cringe than other caster and Stay Night. So
The Medea.
yeah. Like, Medea used indirect magical abilities, but not as indirect as this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Hassan.
Yeah, this is Hassan of the 100 Personas.
Now, I'm going to say right now, much less cringe than Cursed Arm.
Yeah.
Hassan. Definitely.
Another incarnation of Hassani Sabre. This one is interesting because it's kind of like there's one servant, which is the girl with which is the lady one with purple hair. But like she manifests 99 other Hassans that could all operate individually.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the assassin army as one servant. Which is an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, they mainly...
And useful.
Yeah, they mainly use them as, like, scouts. Like all the other extra ones.
A lot of spying. And one of them, like, either knowingly or unknowingly sacrifices himself to to fake that Assassin is dead.
Yeah.
But he's actually not. Because obviously there's another 98 of them. I really feel like we don't really get much of this character.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't get a lot of them. Like,
I'm really tempted to just put them straight into Neva.
That's kind of how I feel because they're not in it much.
Yeah.
They are the first one dead after all, aren't they?
They're sometimes there and they're like in the background, but they're just...
Yeah, there's lots of scenes of them sort of stalking everybody.
I mean, they did basically get
cool.
backhanded by Iskander.
Yeah.
So
it's like, what counteracts I manifest 100 version of myself? I have a massive army.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100 Faces is interesting.
It's interesting ability
I think
and
all the
things,
Hassans are interesting as a concept.
Yeah, but as a character...
Yeah, you don't get much about them.
Seems to just basically just take orders and that's it. Doesn't really emote.
Okay.
You know, the only thing I can think of is just sees the army and just goes, fuck. Drops the sword and just waits to die.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like they were Ionioi Hitairo fucks their Zabania. Quite a bit.
So yes. Iris Feel.
Iris Feel von Einsburn.
Ilya's
mom.
Well,
has she got it going on, Jim?
No. I don't get it, Kuritsugu. I don't get what you know. I mean, you made Ilya, so good on you, I guess. But
one thing I think is interesting about Iri
cute,
is so Iri is an Einsburn homunculus made to be the Grail vessel as they are, and she knows that she isn't going to live very long.
Yeah, and she does like completely go, "Yo, fuck you, Einsburns. I just want to help Kuritsugu."
Yeah, it's like they sort of really don't want their daughter to have the same fate that happens to all the other Einsburn homunculi.
Yeah.
Hi, Krish.
Hello, Krish.
Welcome to the stream. This is just us chatting shit and rating characters.
Yeah. How was your day, Krish?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen Fate.
So yeah, spoiler warnings for Fate Zero here.
Yeah, there's definitely spoilers for
We're
Fate Zero.
going to talk about Lord of the Rings next. Just we really wanted to do a Fate follow up.
I'm sorry if you really are going to worry about spoilers for Lord of the Rings. Shut up, leave this stream and watch that movie. Those movies.
Yeah, Fate Zero is good.
Yeah, Fate Zero is I can recommend it.
It's easily one of my favorite animes. You're sleepy? Oh, okay.
Are you sleepy?
Well, yeah, it's the end of the week. It's Friday afternoon. I mean, we're sitting here with a beer talking about anime.
I could enjoy a nice sleep as well, to be honest. Okay. It was feel...
It's like,
Well, she probably has to earn some base points for that crazy driving.
Oh yeah, just her fucking driving.
I just love it. She's like, whoa!
She's driving like this is her first time playing GTA and loving it.
Yeah, which
it's like, yeah, she's not going to live very long.
She's
Why should she care?
Supportive of her husband.
Very willing to go along with his plan, even though she knows it will kill her.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I guess she's like, she knows she's gonna die anyway. So
yeah,
not really a big deal. I don't know. I feel like I'm tempted to put her in like kind of based.
Yeah, I kind of get that. It's like
she's not like super based or anything, but
yeah, it's like she's homunculus, but she's very much her own person, even though she doesn't have the like her life seems fairly restricted. But
yeah,
no.
What freedoms she has, she uses quite well.
Yeah, she's doing the best and living her best life, even though she knows she won't have much of a life.
I will say this is kind of definitely assuming that the Irisphere we see in the Grail isn't her.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I don't think that is. I think that was Anne Romine taking that.
Maybe this is the thing is that I'm not sure.
With Kiritsugu.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, but I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. I'm really not. But hey. Anyway. Okay, yeah. Based, extremely based. I don't know. That's it. It's just...
Alexander the Based. Iskander.
The real Iskander, Alexander the Great, was extremely based. The anime character based upon him is extremely based. I don't know if
everything he does is based.
I don't know if I need to even explain this, really. This character's so based.
Even when he knows he's gonna die, he just rides his horse straight down that bridge.
Yeah.
At the dude he probably knows is gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Also, Alexander the Great is a good servant because he gets the beers in.
Yes.
Gilgamesh is a good servant because he gets the beers in.
This guy...
Artoria doesn't.
Maybe we should give a little explanation. What is Alexander's, motivations? He wants to have fun and conquer other people.
And the world. He wants the other servants to sort of join him.
He wants to conquer men and women's hearts such that they join him.
And his goal for getting the Grail so that he can be incarnated again and continue conquering everywhere.
It's just... And I mean...
Also his master, he's... The way that he kind of inspires and motivates his master so much.
The thing is, right, as well, it would be kind of cringe if he desired control and, power over, nations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he doesn't desire that. He just desires conquering. Once he has conquered a place and a people, he then goes, okay, now you're mine, but, see ya. And he just leaves to go and conquer the next place.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, that's all he actually wants, and he's really dedicated to it. He has to be extremely based.
Yeah, he's pretty based. I love how much also how much he enjoys living in modern day Japan is awesome. He just turns up here and is like, I'm gonna buy a t-shirt and jeans and go into town.
Also, other
his master's
servants,
no. Other
servants and masters are just hide your secret. Hide your servant's identity so nobody knows who they are. Then he shows up and goes,
I'm Iskander! Oh, we've got beans!
Thank you. Thank you for raiding,
Hello, Bandit. Thank you for the raid.
Oh, wow, you're raiding into something terrible. Thank you for
Thank you, bandits are coming to steal our hearts. Okay, hello and welcome to...
I'm sorry, but holy Ginger Goblin, I think you may have some competition here. Bandits are coming to steal your heart.
Oh no.
Wait, Bandit, have you come to conquer my heart? Like Alexander the Great? This is what you've come into, guys. I hope you're happy. I
hope nobody... is anybody here familiar with the Fate series? I hope you don't mind spoilers for Fate Zero. We're gonna talk about Lord of the Rings soon, it's fine.
Spoilers for Fate Zero, just in case you're worried about that. do we want to move on from Alexander the Great?
It's kind of like Tom Jones disease, so it's not unusual.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, we're talking about Amato here. So.
Okay, so this is Kari Amato. This is Shinji Mato's uncle. He's not that cringe.
You know, I think he's
the least cringe Mato, but that isn't hard.
He's like the least cringe Mato that has ever lived.
He wants to save Sakura, which is good, but he kind of wants to save Sakura so he can fuck Tokiomi's wife.
That's not the only reason.
That's part of why.
It's a little bit of why,
yeah.
But I think he primarily just wants to save his, like, niece, right? And he's willing to die for that. And in my mind, that's based.
I think the fact that he also left the Mato family and left Magecraft is a base decision, because leaving the Matos is what they should all do.
I'm not sure if, like, working together with Kirei was based or not.
I think working with Kirei when Kirei is probably going to fuck you over.
Yeah, but that probably wasn't very evident at the time. You know, people probably thought, this is Kirei, who has literally never betrayed anyone in his entire life.
Even though he already had. He didn't know.
Well, nobody knew that.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that he's betrayed anyone. So, as far as everyone was concerned, he's a very trustworthy priest, dude, you know? So, I don't know. It's, I think, you know, the way it turns out.
Yeah.
When she walks in.
Yeah.
And stuff. And he's just there, filled with shame. Being filled with shame is cringe, no matter the circumstances. So he has to probably lose some points there.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, is I'm there like...
I am tempted to put him into kind of base, though.
This is what I'm kind of thinking, is like, he's... like, overall, not the most based.
No.
Maybe kind of based. Like,
yeah.
what I'm trying to think is, like, he's kind of cringy compared to a lot of the other masters, but at the same time...
But he's a Mato.
But he's a Mato, that is true.
I feel like...
they all have, like, that... That's a nerf to all the Matos.
I feel like having any level of base, he's got to gain, you know... because he's a Mato, that has to kind of count for more than usual. So
yeah.
In my mind, he has to be kind of base. What's his name again?
What, the next guy? Kenneth Archibald L. Malloy.
Yeah.
We didn't include his wife because she doesn't do too much on her own outside of him.
Well, I don't know, Holly. I'm thinking about it. We probably should have included her.
Oh. But she's just really cringe because she just wants to fuck Latza.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to fuck her.
I don't know. That is pretty cringe. But betraying your actual husband for it is... I mean... I don't know. It kind of...
I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe if a sexy Irish hero turned up, I would leave you. But probably not.
That's fair. I wouldn't complain.
I mean, I need to see the size of his spear.
I would like to point out I am part Irish.
Oh yeah, that is true. Can I see you in type full body armor, please?
Tight goblin on the way.
But yeah, Kenneth, so he's a teacher at the clock tower. And
he's very arrogant.
He's kind of like...
and sure of himself, but he's also like shown up.
He was originally the guy supposed to summon Iskander. But then Iskander got taken from him by his student.
Yeah.
And he seemed pretty pissed about that. So he summons Lancer and then proceeds to treat Lancer like shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you doing this, dude? He just wants to have a lightly honorly battle.
Even if you summon someone you didn't intend to summon, it's probably not a very good plan to start being shit to them. Because, you know, you're going to be working with this person for, you know, a fight to the death. It's probably not very smart. He's like technically intelligent and knowledgeable about magic, but he's not a very good tactician.
Yeah, it's like one thing Iskander even says is that like you hide in the shadows, my master, rides in my chariot with me. Sort of calls him out for being
Yeah, a little bitch.
a little bitch.
And he goes out like a little bitch.
He
as well.
goes out like a little bitch too.
So,
he didn't see that coming.
Yeah. I guess overall, I'm inclined to say he's just cringe.
Yeah, I think he is kind of just cringe.
Yeah.
It's like, does he do anything based? Not really.
Not really, no. He doesn't do anything extreme.
Kind of very sticks to the old-fashioned ways of magecraft and doesn't like that his student challenged that.
Yeah. I'd say he doesn't do anything that I would think of as, like, extremely cringe.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty damn cringe.
He's still pretty cringe.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything to gain himself base points.
No. Well, we had Kirei in the last one.
This is the boy, Kotomine Kirei.
And we put him into extremely base.
The creepy long arm. So this is Kirei before Stay Night.
Now,
he's younger.
In Stay Night and in this, he is, well, in Stay Night especially, he is extremely evil. Once again, clarify, you can be based and evil. It's nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He's
the best kind of evil, based evil.
Yeah. It's about being sure of yourself and doing things for yourself, not being influenced by even your own fear or insecurity.
I like hurting people. I will continue to hurt people.
The thing is, right, before he kind of turns, even then, he's not cringe, really.
Yeah, but he's not that he's not cringe, but he's like,
he's just kind of
try to suppress that. Oh yeah, the only thing that brings me joy is suffering.
He's just doing what he's always done, which is just engaging in his duty, what he sees as his duty, right?
He's helping Tokiomi essentially at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's kind of his thing, but then like he spends a lot of time in a back room. Yeah. With the dude who drinks all the wine that he can handle.
How many times are you going to reference that video that nobody has watched, Holly? Okay.
Look, he's a Sumerian who stabs people, okay?
Right. But I don't think he's as based as he is in Stay Night.
Yeah.
In Zero.
Gilgamesh brings out the based in him.
But I think he just edges into extremely based.
I think it's that little scene right at the end with
Tasuka.
So he's trained by Tokiomi, who was Rin's dad. Rin's dad gives him this dagger as like a well done, you have passed training.
Yes.
And Giro just stabs him in the back with it.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not just that. It's also then goes to his funeral and his daughter is there crying and he just, when she isn't looking, just smiles and enjoys her suffering.
He gives her the knife that he killed her dad with.
Yeah.
And then smiles as she cries.
So I just...
It's just so fucking... He's such a terrible
It's so
person,
evil
and
it's so based. So, yeah, I feel like he doesn't do as much to be extremely based in Zero than he does in Stay Night. But, yeah, he's still extremely based.
He just makes it into based.
Yeah. If we're, ordering these, I think this might actually be the correct order so far, to be honest.
It's like who is the most extremely based versus,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's actually Kirei and Gilgamesh haven't moved from their
positions. Really, not really, no. Sabre's gone up.
Yeah, Sabre's gone up.
Yeah. Is that the only other one that
Eri is higher than her daughter.
Yeah.
And Karia is higher than his grandson, but his grandson is literally the most cringe thing that exists. Not his grandson, sorry, it's his nephew.
As a rule,
nephew
children tend to be cringe.
Children are cringe.
They're not always, but they tend to be.
Yeah. Next one is the sad boy himself, Kiritsugu Emiya. This is Shiro's adopted dad. Okay,
well, look, I feel like from the get-go, he has to earn a lot of points because he comes to mage fights with
guns.
And it's just like, I'm just gonna shoot motherfuckers, That's already based.
It's like, how does he completely fuck up Cadith? He shoots him.
Yeah, he just shoots him.
It's like, how
he
do I
shoots
get
him with bullets made out of his bones.
How do I get out? How do I get to this guy who's in a heavily magically guarded tower? Bombs.
Yeah.
This plane is infested with magical bees. Rocket launcher.
Yeah. So this guy gets this whole morality where he will. It's utilitarianism where he will sacrifice the few for the many,
even if they're like his family.
Yeah, pretty much. Even if the people matter to him.
Yeah.
He does waver in that during the time that he basically has won the Grail. And the Grail shows him what he will be getting, basically.
Yeah. The Grail fucks with him. That's kind of what it does. It's corrupted.
It would like
know until now.
It kind of corrupted his morals to turn them on their head. Basically, it would end up resulting with more people dying and less people being saved. Ultimately,
yeah,
by like clever use of that moral to fuck with things. So, yeah, but then he does ultimately kind of win those base points back by offing his like family and inside of the Grail. That's a weird sentence. His fake family inside the Grail. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's Amma Hermione just using the faces of his wife and daughter.
Yeah. And also he's straight up. I know that Sabre won points just for being like, yeah, Kiritsugu, you're full of shit. He also wins points for being like, yeah, Sabre, fuck you. So
like, yeah, him and Sabre don't like each other.
Yeah. It's funny because
she likes Shiro.
They're a thing where they are alike.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes people who are alike don't like each other.
Yeah, like each other in different ways.
So, I don't know, I think he ends up just being based.
Just regularly based?
Yeah. I think he's more based than Gil is. But I don't know if he just gets into extremely based. I'm trying to think about it.
I don't know, I'd say based.
Does he, I'm not sure if he actually ends up going into extremely based. I can't really think of anything he's done that's really, really, really based,
Yeah. And this is the thing, is like, I'm trying to think, maybe not as based as Gil, because we've pointed out times when Kiritsugu kind of loses base points. Gil is consistently based.
Yeah. I just feel like when Kiritsugu is being based, it is more based than Gil is.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
I'm trying to think about this from character perspective. Or is this just part of me simping because it's Bando time?
Yeah, you do have a bias.
Yeah. Not the worst bias though. Not one of those who's like, Gilgamesh is the most powerful servant in the Nasuverse and Aya can break the universe.
For fuck's sake. Moving on. Yeah. We have Lancelot.
Berserker Lancelot. So now he's like not a thinking berserker. He's very much still like Heracles. And he just sort of attacks people
in a way
he's told to.
In a way, is he almost even more crazy than Heracles is?
I think so.
But at the same time, I think it might be easy to argue in a way he's maybe a little bit more aware.
Yeah, I mean, it does show both of them have that thing where like they're dying, and that's when you see the sanity come back.
Yes, that's true. But I also mean, just in general, he sees certain people and he just is like, fuck that guy in particular.
Like fuck that person because they're King Arthur.
Yeah.
I want her to be mad at me for fucking her wife, even though she didn't care that I was fucking her wife.
I don't know if you win base points from kind of turning into a plane.
He didn't turn into a plane. He
controlled it.
Yeah, it's like
it made the plane look like him.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works with every weapon he has. So Lancelot probably sees Gilgamesh as the guy at the football game with the t-shirt cannon. He's like, oh, free swords, yes!
I guess so, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to judge. Maybe it's in a similar vein to Heracles. It just kind of ends up in the middle.
Yeah, just like doesn't show enough free thought to be either.
I feel like the most base thing he does, he's just kind of like, what is he? Just sort of saying that Arturia is tiresome. That's it, more or less.
Yeah, just like you're not a good king.
Are you dying?
Yeah.
Also, you should lean forward. If the people want to hear your lovely,
maybe everyone
lovely voice.
wants their Holly stupid anime opinions.
Caught the 5G.
Next one, umming and ahhing as to whether or not to include her, but she gets one episode. So this is Little Reen. This is Rin Tosaka, but she's a little girl.
Reen is a child.
Rin 10 years younger, so is she like... How old is she here? Like, I don't know how old she is in Stay Night.
I think she's 17.
Yeah, so she's like 6 or 7 here.
Yeah. And I mean, well, she goes out, beats up an adult, and...
Oh yeah, it's another Fate Stay Night child fight. The child wins.
And, like, saves a bunch of other kids from death.
Yeah.
God, pretty based.
I think Rin has always just been based.
Yeah.
I mean, she stays
We
in
had
the
her
position
just
as based.
before.
Last time she was just based. I think she's still based. Maybe
I
not,
think
not
maybe-
as based as she used to be.
Yeah, she's like a little bit
Maybe-
less spaced just because she's like a child and she's sensitive.
Yeah, she's also,
So-
a kid. Kids are cringe. If TikTok existed when Fate Zero was set, you could guarantee that Rin would be making stupid lip sync videos or whatever the fuck the kids do these days that is cringy.
Okay. You're just putting kind of base?
Kind of base. Like, she only loses points for being a child.
Okay.
This is Ryonosuke. I think it's Ryonosuke Uryu.
Yes.
His full name.
Ryonosuke.
This is the guy who just likes to murder people.
That's like his only motivation the whole time.
Exactly. He's like, I like to murder people. He gets shot at the end, and he's like, oh, my blood.
I was looking for that. And then he dies.
This guy's like,
He's based?
he's more based than his servant.
Definitely. I mean, I can't even point out anything he does really that's cringe.
Except all the child murder. But then we have established that, like, that isn't an indication of based or cringe.
Yeah, well, it's not even really... Yeah, it's just... He's just like, I enjoy suffering and killing people.
It's almost like the Kirei motivation, but done in a very different way.
It is a different way, yeah. Kirei's more kind of sinister and insidious. Whereas this guy's just like...
Like, I like to kill kids. It's like, God damn you, winner.
I almost want to put him... He's like on the end of base.
Okay. So he's like a psychopath, but he's just a based psychopath.
Yeah. So, Tokiomi.
Like, Tokyo Midosaka. This is Rin's dad. Thinks that he could win the Grail War by summoning the most powerful servant.
He's he kind of makes some pretty bad decisions.
Yeah.
He attempts and fails to simp for Gilgamesh.
He's just like trying to get him to obey him by kissing his ass. He's just like, nope, not having this.
Yeah, Gilgamesh doesn't give a shit.
Gilgamesh, will you please kill this Cthulhu monster for me? Shut up, no. Gonna go chase Lancelot on a plane instead. More fun.
Well, yeah.
He gets stabbed in the back by Kirei.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't really have much to do with anything, does it?
But you seem to assume that, like, oh, if the Gil would just, like, jump out and protect him, and it's like, dude, no, that's stupid.
Fair.
You.
I don't know. He's just he's just a little bit dumb in some ways.
Yeah.
Despite being like
also
super smart.
Also, everything about the way mage families operate, like, he gave one of his kids to the Matos.
Oh yeah, like that whole thing
That is cringe.
is cringe. Yeah.
It's like it's like, right, so if mage families like can only give the magic to the oldest, why the fuck did you have 2 children?
I love the way he looked at this.
Yeah.
Because he was like, well, I have these 2 children. They would be a part of my family and also the Matos. Doesn't matter which one wins, I still win. That's the way he saw it.
Yeah.
And that's fucking cringe.
You let your daughter just be put in a worm pit for ages.
It's unclear to me whether or not he knew that.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you give your kid to the Matos?
Well,
that is cringe.
I think he like finds out, doesn't he? And he's still like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's like that's pretty cringe. Not caring about your children is cringe.
Yeah. I feel like he just ends up going into cringe. I feel like he's more cringe than... Yeah.
It feels like he shouldn't be cringe, but he is very cringe.
Yeah.
Like, you're the head of the Tosaka family. How do you manage to be such a cringy person? I mean, the motivation makes sense. Like, obtain the root, okay, but how are you going about this? Why did you think Gilgamesh would obey you? He only likes based people.
This is true. He only likes based people. Surprised he doesn't take more interest in Kiritsugu.
Yeah. He takes more interest in his servant.
Yeah, that's true. Waver.
Yeah, Waver Velvet. This is one of my favourite characters. Because I love the arc he goes on.
Yeah.
Like, at the start, he's from a weak mage family, and like our introduction to him is he's at the clock tower, and he's turned in a paper to Cainith, where he is essentially saying that it's like something like the way mage families normally operate. It shouldn't be determined by like the strength of your bloodline. It should be determined by like how good of a mage you can be.
Yeah,
it's something criticizing the sort of traditional mage family sort of structure or
it's unclear to me whether or not he's even right or wrong, really.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
but he definitely stands up for that belief.
Yeah, he wants to prove himself.
And he gets shot down by a cringe teacher.
By a cringe teacher. He's more based than his teacher, at least.
Definitely. Yeah.
But, like, I think it's kind of cringe when he's, like, thinking he can tell Iskander what to do.
I don't even...
Just being a bit whiny about it, and then just
I think that's really the more about it, is just being whiny about it.
Kind of, like, don't think you really realise until, like... But as he goes through the Grail War, you see less of that. He obtains what he wanted the whole time without even getting the Grail, which I think is something that I really like about his character arc as well. Like, becomes a more respected person. He definitely shows that he is more capable than his teacher, who doesn't even
become more respected by like the people he necessarily wanted to be.
If you get respected by Alexander the Great, that's pretty great.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think like when he ultimately goes through this character arc, and the end result is he's somewhat more based person.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe he goes into kind of based.
Yeah, it's like he kind of goes from being kind of cringe, and then at the end he's kind of based.
I kind of just want to put him like on this end of kind of based.
Okay, so you think Waver is more based than Artoria?
Yeah. Actually, if I'm reordering a bit, it would probably go like that.
Oh, okay.
That's the order I think. Yeah.
And then finally we just have Zoken Mato.
Just stick him there.
And it's just like he doesn't shift.
He's a Mato, yeah, there we go.
It's like the worst Mato stays in the worst Mato spot.
Yeah.
Nobody is kind of cringe. Like,
no.
It's one of those things where,
I don't think there's anyone in there that's just mildly cringe.
Yeah, this is one of the things with Fate Zero, is like a lot of people just seem very extreme.
Yeah. It's more the extreme than in Stay Night, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So extremely based is Iskander and Kirei.
But yeah, guys.
Kirei's in the same place he was last time.
If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, whatever the case, check out our tier lists and show us what you think.
Go on Tier Maker. We'll probably upload this as a VOD as well, along with the other one we're going to do today.
Yeah. Speaking of the other one,
so we just
want to do that one now?
Yeah. This is the so just want to give a final rundown of who everybody is and where they are. So extremely based is Iskander and Kirei. Kirai hasn't moved from his last place. Based is Kiritsugu and Gilgamesh and Ryonosuke. Gilgamesh hasn't moved. Kind of Ace is Waver, Artoria, little kid Rin, who has come down from being based because she's just a child here. Irisfeel, Carrier. Neither Cringe or Base is Diarmude, Hassan of the 100 Personas, and Lancelot. Nobody's kind of cringe. Cringe people is Yolta Ray, Tokyo Mitosaka, and Kenneth Archibald El Malloy. And Zokin is extremely cringe as always.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I'll give a quick rundown of why that is. His entire motivation is, I want to live forever.
I'ma go put children in a pit full of hentai worms.
Wanting to live forever is cringe. So, yeah.
Being made of worms is cringe.
Yeah.
And abusing children is cringe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with that said, should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to save that?
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. I will save it.
Yeah. I'd say like MGV, Fate Zero cringe list.
It's just Fate Zero cringe list.
No, just like MGV. It's like, this is our official one.
Oh, okay.
And then if anybody else wants to make their own, you can. If you disagree with us, let us know. I mean, somebody gave us their own version of our Stay Night tier list.
And it was cringe. So, please let us see your cringe takes.
Okay.